Earlier today, Just One More Watch was deleted from YouTube. And at this point, maybe I shouldn't have been shocked, but I think me and pretty much anybody else who's interested in watches on YouTube was pretty taken aback by this. I think this is the third channel that I've seen that has been deleted by YouTube that probably didn't deserve it. This is all kind of in process right now, so there's a lot going on behind the scenes, I'm sure. We don't know how this is all going to resolve, but I've been thinking about it and trying to put together some thoughts. And what I've come down to is that YouTube doesn't care about the video creators. YouTube doesn't really care about you either. Not a big surprise, I'm sure, but you know, this sort of stuff happens a lot, and it's a business for them, and they have all of the resources and all of the decisions and all of the power, and we basically just go along with what they do. My name's Dave. I run a watch channel called Just the Watch, not Just One More Watch, so my channel is still up and going. I live in Japan. I do this as a hobby. It's a lot of fun for me, but this is not my livelihood. If my channel gets deleted, I'll be very disappointed, but it's not going to really affect me in a huge way. Jody, on the other hand, this is his full-time job. Jody, who runs Just One More Watch, the channel that got deleted, this is his full-time job. And his channel is gone. Earlier today, he had 193,000 subscribers, one of the biggest watch channels on YouTube, one of the most popular watch channels on YouTube, one of the most watched watch channels on YouTube. And now it's completely gone. It is erased from YouTube. If you search for his channel name, you're only going to see videos where he showed up on other people's channel to hang out and to say hi and participate. He's been on my channel. He's been on a lot of other smaller channels, and everybody likes him because he's a great guy. If you search for any of his videos, they're gone. You can't find them. If you happen to have a link, you're going to get a weird error saying that his channel has been deleted. And that to me is pretty frightening, again, especially as a smaller YouTube channel, knowing that YouTube could easily do that to my channel if they felt like it. And I'm sure you've heard of similar things happening to channels in other spaces. And again, I think it all comes down to the fact that YouTube just really doesn't care about us. They have millions of creators, billions of viewers. It's just not worth it to them to try and defend us. They'd rather just cut their losses and say, yeah, see you later. So what happened? What happened with Just One More Watch? Again, this is very fresh, so no one knows exactly what happened. I don't think Jody even knows what happened at this point. I did message back and forth with Jody a little bit after this happened. I'm sure at some point he's going to find some way to share what's going on from his side, but this is still just happened, and I think he's still trying to figure out, and yeah, at this point, maybe it's best for him just to deal with YouTube and figure that out. But I will talk a little bit about what I've been able to piece together so far, and a little bit about what it seems like YouTube's policies are and how they handle these sorts of situations. So I first noticed that Jody's channel was gone when I tried to go and view his channel. There was a message saying that the channel had been terminated due to a counterfeit claim. I thought I must have got the wrong channel by mistake, and maybe someone was impersonating him, and I had the imposter's channel that had been counterfeiting him, and that must have been what happened, but it wasn't. Every single video of his that I would go to all had a similar message saying that the channel had been terminated. That was within the first hour or so that this had happened. Again, as of now, maybe 5 or 6 hours later, there's just nothing showing up at all on YouTube. You just can't find any of his videos or any of his channels. Everything is just completely gone. His account has been terminated. It has not been suspended. It hasn't been hit with copyright strikes. It's just gone. Now, YouTube has a copyright strike system where if you post copyrighted content, you can get your channel demonetized, and there's steps and things that happen, and they kind of tell you, and you get warnings. This is not what happened here. This is a counterfeit complaint, which appears to be much more serious. And a counterfeit complaint is not something that just anybody can file. I've heard some people suggesting, oh, maybe there were some guys who just didn't like Jody and they were just filing these false complaints about him. No, to file a counterfeit complaint, you have to have the authorization of the trademark owner who is being counterfeited. So you have to be a lawyer or something that has been authorized by whoever thinks they're being counterfeited to file this complaint. After the complaint has been filed, YouTube says that they may do an investigation to determine whether it's true or not. And if after their investigation, they decide themselves that the counterfeit complaint is true, then they may terminate the account, which appears to be what happened with Jody. Now, I have watched most of his videos, and the only thing I can think of that's going on here is that in the past he has shown how to spot fake watches, how to spot counterfeit watches. And so that's the only thing I can think of, is that perhaps because he had shown a counterfeit watch on his channel in order to help people not buy counterfeit watches, the trademark owner didn't like that, filed this counterfeit claim, and this is what happened. Now, another thing that happens whenever anybody files a copyright claim is YouTube has the option to put it into a database, which you can search to find all of these counterfeit claims. I'll leave a link to the database down below. I haven't been able to find the specific complaint against Just One More Watch, but if any of you sleuths out there want to go look for it, go for it. But after sifting through a lot of these complaints that have been filed, what appears to happen in most cases is that there are companies that specialize in this. They have lawyers, they have people who go and they file these complaints to YouTube, and they're probably outsourced. So you probably have large watch brands, luxury watch brands, that hire these third-party groups to just scour YouTube, to find anything that could potentially be a copyright or counterfeit claim, and to file those claims on their behalf. So if I were to guess what's going on there, there's probably some little group of lawyers out there that's just been searching for anything that could remotely be classified as counterfeit, and they found Jody's video, filed a complaint on it, YouTube reviewed it, and deleted his account. And to me, the fact that YouTube can just completely erase your account, even after years of work putting into it, building an audience, making these videos, and then they can just unilaterally decide you're off the platform and you lose everything, to me, that's insane. That's not a good system. Legally, I'm sure that they have all their bases covered, and this is perfectly within the law. But that's kind of where we are now. YouTube is in a point where rather than try and defend legal claims or risk any sort of a lawsuit, they feel that it's better just to erase entire channels rather than stopping and taking any time to investigate or stand up to the person who filed the complaint. So again, YouTube doesn't care about the content creators. It doesn't care about the 193,000 subscribers that really enjoyed Jody's content. All it took was one counterfeit claim that seems very dubious to me for them to do their own internal investigation and just decide to erase Just One More Watch. That shouldn't be the way the system works. I could see maybe, starting with a suspension and then starting a conversation with the creator to try and get their perspective on what happened. I think creators should have an option to bring in a lawyer or a third party to talk with YouTube and to deal with the counterfeit claim, to fight it if they need to. But the fact that YouTube just 100% gets to unilaterally decide you're here or you're not here, that doesn't instill a lot of confidence in me. It makes me never want to even think about going full-time into YouTube, which is never something I was considering doing anyways. But why would I want to hang my entire livelihood producing content for a platform that could just erase me at the drop of a hat without even letting me give any input into that or any explanation? And yet, because YouTube is such an amazing platform that has such a huge following, it's really kind of the only option. A lot of people have been asking in comments and stuff, what can we do? Can we sign a petition? Is there anything we can do to alert YouTube to this and fight this? Honestly, no, I don't think there is. I don't think there's anything we can do to get YouTube to pay attention. They just don't care. There's too many viewers, there's too much content, there's too many content creators, they're making too much money. It just doesn't make business sense for them to care about this. I know that's kind of a downer of a place to leave this, but that's as far as I've gotten so far. So YouTube's been a great hobby for me. I'm going to keep doing it. I enjoy doing it. It gets me a nice little extra income stream. I get to review and own more watches than I ever thought would be possible. So I appreciate all that I can get through YouTube, and I appreciate all of these subscribers and everybody who supported the channel. But I certainly don't think YouTube cares at all about me. And I would not be surprised if someday I wake up to get an email from them telling me that somebody filed some claim against my channel and it's gone. And that's just how it is for YouTube creators right now. So again, I don't know why anybody would want to risk going full-time into YouTube, other than that's really the only option there is right now. As far as Jody's channel goes, he's going to have to go through an appeal process and see if he can get YouTube to pay attention. The other two channels I know that have gone through this, they never got their channels back. They started over. So I really hope that Jody's going to be the exception here and that he'll be able to get everything somehow straightened away and get through to someone over at YouTube. But I don't think this is going to be a quick thing where it'll just turn around and his channel will magically be back tomorrow. I don't think YouTube's going to turn over and say, oh, it was some algorithm error and whoops. And if it does delay, I hope he's able to get a new channel and start re-uploading and bring his content back. And I hope that that'll happen soon. But at the same time, I don't know what the timeline is going to take on this. I don't know if it's like you got to wait until your appeals go through before you try anything like that. So yeah, we'll just wait and see. Keep an eye on him. Definitely go subscribe to his Instagram account. I'll leave a link to that. That's still active. Go leave him an encouraging note there. Tell him you're still want to see his content whenever he gets around to fixing what's going on here. But that's going to wrap it up for this video. Thanks for watching, and hopefully I'll see you next time.